What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I'm a Sierra Leonean American living in Accra, Ghana. I'm in Sierra Leone right now. But if you want to know what activities are going on outside of the Beyond the Return activities in Ghana, so beyond Afro Nation, beyond Afrochella, which is what everybody's talking about, but people do want to know what else is happening, well, this is the video for you. All right, guys, so we're back. We're live on Facebook and we're live on YouTube. I'm going to pin a link on Instagram. I'm trying to pin Instagram. Uh-oh. It's not working. I just copied the link. Let me see if I can copy this link again. Excuse me, that's the first time I sneezed on live. That's new. All right, so I'm copying, guys, for you on YouTube, Instagram. If you guys are on Instagram and you guys want to see our guests today, just click on the pinned link in the comments there. And I need a thumbs up. Let me know if you guys can hear me. A thumbs up so I know that you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Give me a thumbs up on Instagram. Give me a thumbs up on YouTube so I know that you guys can hear me. I saw people joining on Instagram. What's up, guys? I'll give it another second so I can make sure that you guys can hear me. Just want to make sure that we're not talking and you guys can't hear me. So give me a thumbs up so I can hear me. But in the meantime, while we wait for that, because in case you guys can hear me, keep saying, give me a thumbs up so you guys can hear me. So today we're going to be talking with Ibrahim. He is a former coworker of mine, and he has a ton of stuff going on. I want to talk about what he has going on, but before we do, I think what makes sense is to do a little bit of housekeeping and give you guys a little bit of information about myself. A lot of new people following on Instagram, and I want to make sure you guys know who I am. So I'm not going to be adding any of you guys to the Instagram other live where we can do that, but for right now you guys are going to be able to hear our guest who I am adding. Okay, Pastor Catherine Smith is saying hello, Joe. Are you in Ghana? Catherine, I'm not in Ghana. I am in Sierra Leone at the moment. Okay, Keenan Mitchell says he can hear me. Anne-Marie Harding says she can hear me. Okay, great. So you can hear me. Cool. So for those of you who are new and who are not as aware of me as some of the others who've been around for a while, my name is Joannis or Joe Hatagwa. I am Sierra Leonean American. I live in Accra, Ghana, and I'm building a house in Sierra Leone. And so I started a YouTube channel in February 2021, chronicling my journey moving from the US to Ghana and building a house in Sierra Leone. I also am interviewing people who are founders and CEOs companies in Sierra Leone and in Ghana to highlight their businesses. And I'm also interviewing folks who have moved from the States or the UK, anywhere from the West to West Africa. So you'll see a ton more of that on the channel moving forward. I do live every Monday at 9 p.m. GMT and something from EST, 1 p.m. Pacific. And then I also do additional content throughout the week, and I do a YouTube short 7 days a week. So that's a little bit about who I am and what I do. The Instagram page is a little bit more broad. It's not just about me. It's really connecting the diaspora with their roots on the continent of Africa. So we do a lot of commentary on things that are happening. We have a lot of African leaders that we share. We talk about African leaders' salaries, best countries to visit, worst countries to visit, musicians on the continent of Africa. We do a lot of content, a chance to see what's going on the continent. So arts and entertainment to history and things happening in culture. So that's on the continent of Africa, and that's also So that's what with the Authentic African Instagram page. With the YouTube channel, it's more around me and other people that I have met along the way. All right, cool. So with that, I want to get into today's topic. So today, I am going to bring on Ibrahim. Now, Ibrahim has taken on a very challenging role, or had taken on a very challenging role at our former company. And he and I worked together to try to get him up to speed with the last month that I was there. And he did an excellent job after I left. There were a lot of great changes and things that they were able to do after I left. And so when he and I had been speaking about something else that he had been working on separately, and I was interested in sharing that with you all. So let me just kind of read through the bio here so I don't miss anything. So Ibrahim is the founder and CEO of IZZUKIAAFRICA Group. It's a Ghanaian company inspiring and exciting new Africa. He will be telling us about the upcoming event, AFROBURN DRIP SWEAT. It's powered by the Afro Urban and Afro Experiential, both subsidiaries of the IZZUKIA Group, IZZUKIAAFRICA Group. So the Afro Urban is a new media platform celebrating Afro Urban culture worldwide, with plans to launch a digital lifestyle magazine in 2023. And Afro Experiential is an African-inspired experiential marketing agency igniting brands through immersive experiences to bring out the African daring brands targeting the fast consumer markets both in Africa and in the African diaspora. So that's a mouthful, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. Together to create AFROBURN, which is the world's first Afrobeats Fitness Club that'll be taking place during the December holiday to promote wellness, well-being through music, dance, and physical activity. Since their first event in August 2022, AFROBURN has grown to almost 20,000 people around the world with over 1 million views across social media. So without further ado, it looks like all of the technical challenges have been fixed and figured out. So I'm going to bring on Ibrahim. Ibrahim, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, Joe, I can hear you.
There he is. There he is. Thanks for doing this, and I'm glad we were able to get you on. So Ibrahim, do you want to do a little bit of your own intro of yourself for those who are not as familiar with you?
Indeed, Joe, thank you very much for having me. And once again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening to all your cherished viewers around the world. It's a pleasure to join this incredible show. So my name is Ibrahim Dikano Abdullahi. I'm a marketer. I'm a marketer in the retail space, and I've been doing this for quite a while until recently, where I have started e-commerce, consulting and working with Jumia in Ghana. And yeah, of course, as an entrepreneur, I've been working in the space, trying to look for very peculiar problems that people in Ghana, and especially people visiting Ghana, are having, and using our businesses to solve these problems. So it's indeed a pleasure to be here to share my story and some of the things that myself and my team at IZZUKIAAFRICA Group have been working on for a couple of years now.
Awesome. And by the way, guys, if you're joining on Instagram Live, the link is pinned in the description. We're talking to Ibrahim Abdullahi together at Jumia, and we're talking to him about what he's doing during the December month and beyond for the year beyond the return activities, and separate from beyond the return activities, but stuff that you can do when you're there. I keep saying here like I'm in Ghana. When you're there in Ghana, for those who are visiting, I will be in Ghana in either 1 week or 2 weeks. But once I get there, these are the kinds of things you can do when I am there. Okay, recently came across your YouTube page, headed to Ghana on Friday. So you have a chance to go to this event, actually. This is KJO_1. So you definitely want to listen to this. Click on the pinned link so you can see Ibrahim and you can actually watch and see him instead of just hear his voice. So those of you who are joining from Instagram Live, just click on that pinned link. All right, cool. So Ibrahim, you did talk a little bit about your career background. I'm sure everyone can tell by your accent that you are born and raised in Ghana, right?
Yes, indeed. Born and raised in Ghana, educated in Ghana, but I did have some stint working outside of Ghana in the past with Unilever, L'Oreal, and to a large extent Vodafone Ghana as well. Yeah.
So yeah, there are large multinational brands in Ghana. We worked with them at
Yeah.
Jumia. You worked at those companies at separate point in times in your life
Sure.
and worked with them at Jumia.
Yeah, indeed.
That gives access to the outside world. But you know, when you're dealing with those folks locally, you definitely get that feel for the Ghanaian culture in the business environment. Okay, cool. So I do want to ask you about the IZZUKIA Africa Group. What is it about? What does it do? I mean, I gave a little bit of a background, but like, can you talk to like the umbrella company and what it's all about?
Yes, indeed. A very good question. Izzukia Africa Group actually is a company I envisioned a couple of years ago while still in corporate at Unilever. And at the time, I think one of the things that I'd observed working both in Ghana and Nigeria and following a lot of the things happening in the diaspora was that there's so many people trying to change the African narrative, whether through content, events, so many things. But I always felt the need for a correct or a serious plan in terms of how to change this narrative by creating a platform and an environment that allows others to thrive and be able to tell this African story our own way. It's very difficult to do it as an individual or as a small group. So Izzukia Africa really is about creating that opportunity to inspire even others to tell this African narrative and change the stereotype around Africa, make it a more exciting continent, a place to be, whether for the people in the diaspora, for multinationals, to come to Africa, to live, to work, to have fun for their own leisure, travel, experience the different things that we have in Africa. So the mission at the time for IZZUKIA Africa Group was to create an enabling environment that should inspire an exciting new Africa. But obviously, we had to put in place other businesses to be able to achieve this, and which is why we created separate subsidiaries in the Afro Urban, which is a digital media platform that we're working on, and then we also have Afro Experiential that we've placed as an agency for brands, for small businesses, startups to work with us to be able to connect and create experiences that is relevant to the African audiences in Ghana, across Africa, and even in the diaspora as well. So that's really how the umbrella company was created. But these two subsidiaries are our vehicle to achieving this vision of inspiring and exciting new Africa.
Got it. Okay. And so with that, I know that that's what kind of led to the AFROBURN event. So can we talk a little bit about, you know, the event itself, the date, locations, some of the sponsors that you have, and the concept, like the overall understanding of this AFROBURN event?
Yes. So indeed, AFROBURN was carved by myself and the team. At the time, we wanted to create something, especially you and I in corporate, for example, know how difficult it is for young working adults to sort of integrate healthy living, working out with their corporate work and the day-to-day activities. It's always a challenge for people in corporate and the working class. And so the first thing we wanted to do was to create a platform that allows people in corporate and very busy professionals to have once a while a way to connect, work out, and sort of cool off, with all the stress from work and all that. So that's the vision initially. But then we thought, how could we do this in a very unique way to attract people and make it easy for people to come on board and create this exciting platform for people to work out and stay fit. And at the same time, we saw how Afrobeats, for example, is changing a lot of things around the world for Africa. I think in the last 10 years, there hasn't been one thing that has united Africa better than Afrobeats. And so we saw how music, dance, even our culture, food is connecting Africans in the diaspora back at home. And we thought that instead of just creating a platform where people can just work out, why don't we ride on this same theme that is bringing Africans together, which is Afrobeats, music, dance, to create a fitness platform where people can not just come and stay fit, enjoy Afrobeat music, Afro dance routines, all these TikTok trends that people jump on and are enjoying, to create a very unique experience for people, to take away the pain of working out, and that psychological challenge of moving from your home to a gym or to a place where it's really a complex place to stay fit, to a place where it's more fun. You connect with new people, you socialize with a lot more people, but you still achieve the same goal of working out and staying fit. So that's how we created AFROBURN, sort of as a platform where working class initially would take some time off every now and then to come and enjoy all this African music, dance, and stay fit, which is what we started back in August this year. Our maiden edition was at Grand Oyeman around Airport Accra. It was an exciting experience. It was the first one, of course, so a lot of people wanted to see what it looked like, and we had a very good turnout. Almost 200 people showed up. We had an amazing event. We had a lot of fun as well. So since then, it's been more of trying to deliver that same experience for people. And this month being December, and obviously the biggest month in Ghana, where a lot of people come into town to have fun, to cool off, we thought of creating an experience where not only the busy professionals that we've been able to create this platform for, but also visiting diasporans and other people in Ghana could have a taste of what AFROBURN is delivering for people in Ghana as well. Yeah.
Nice, nice. Okay, and so this is going to be taking place at Rehab, right? Which is
yes.
Nearby.
This event would be at Rehab on the 26th. So that's exactly a week from today, Monday 26th. It's for about 5 to 6 hours event. Starts at 8 a.m. in the morning and runs through the day till 3 p.m. We've actually packed it with more than just workout, and so we what we've tried to do is not to create a typical workout environment, but more of a fun day filled with experiences and other exciting things and activities for people to engage with. And we believe that this would create a unique environment because everybody is coming for the parties, for the festivals, and all the things. We wanted to create something different where people can still have fun, but also stay fit amidst all the festivities that are going on in Accra.
Yeah, people are going to need to sweat out some of that alcohol too.
yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yeah.
Okay,
one
cool.
Of the things, one of the things I wanted to point out as well is since we launched in August, we've seen a lot of interest in what we're doing from the diaspora. Which is why December is a very, very key thing. And thanks to people like you, serving as a gateway, connecting the diaspora to Africa. Amazing job you're doing, my brother. Thanks to that, people are seeing what we're doing. So even today, about 70% of the people that consume our content are not in Ghana, for example. And so we're seeing a lot of interest from the UK, US, South Africa, Senegal. It's become a pan-African and global community that we've built. And so what AFROBURN is now is more than an event. It's become a community where even people who can't be physically at the event are using our content to be inspired to use Afrobeat as a way to stay fit and work out on a daily basis. So we're seeing more of the interest even globally with what we're doing, which is why this December is crucial and the reason why we want to deliver this experience for the diaspora that are in Ghana in December as well.
Nice, nice, awesome. And so, and just to remind everybody where Rehab is, it's at Labadi Beach, and if I remember from Sandbox, right? It's the same turn you're going in to go to Sandbox, but it's just to the left a bit, right?
Yes, it's just 2 blocks from Sandbox. I think, just 2 blocks from Sandbox as well. It's it's a nice beachfront venue. I think a lot of the diasporans already are familiar with the area. It's like a hub for diasporans. So, yeah, indeed.
You know, I've yet to go to Rehab, and I live, well, don't want to give too much away, not too far from you from Rehab. But yeah, I won't. Unfortunately, I won't be there for this event, but I'll be there for the next AFROBURN and any of the other events that you're doing, of course. But I encourage anyone who's going to be there next Monday to go to AFROBURN. So again, it's from when to when? It's 8 a.m. till
8 a.m. to 3 p.m.
Okay.
We're still allowing people to go home and cool off so they can do all the night parties as well. So we're being very thoughtful about that. Indeed, we know there are a couple of activities later in the day. So we'll be finishing around 3 p.m. to allow people to be able to still go and have fun during the evenings and the nights. Yeah.
Nice. So you mentioned there's going to be the Afro beats with like a workout type environment, but then you also mentioned that it's not just activities. Can you some of the different things that are going to be going out throughout the time frame, right, from 8 to 3 p.m.?
Yes. So as you rightly mentioned, we obviously couldn't have achieved this by ourselves, and so we have partnered a couple of businesses and brands to be able to bring this to life. So we have some sponsors that are really helping us create this amazing experience. Currently, we are being anchored by PayAngel. PayAngel is a Ghanaian fintech platform based in the UK that allows people to send money back home from the US, UK, and they've been able to create this experience for people for free. Thanks to them, we're able to deliver this for free. So PayAngel will be there. They will be there to create some fun activities, dancing competitions, tag of war, focus group challenge, dance challenges, the likes of beach soccer, beach volley, and musical chairs. People are used to the musical chairs that everybody does. We want to create something fresh with Afro beats. You have to be there to see how it all comes to life. But that and many more activities planned would be what we will use to engage people throughout the event. Host, which is this rehab as well. Rehab is creating a branch experience after the whole workout. So at the end of the workout, Rehab, Belacqua, who are also sponsors and supporting us. My Health Corp is a fitness expert group. They help people stay fit through different exciting activities. Would also be there creating different smart games for people to engage with. Rehab would have subsidized meals, creating a brunch experience for people who are there with their families, friends, eat what you have or whatever you can get across the different things that they offer, continental, seafood, and every other thing in between, allowing people to stay there longer, eat, connect, and have a lot of fun as well.
Got it. As you were talking, I realized that you had the sponsors at the bottom of the flyer. So I thought to make sure that there weren't any that were missed.
Yes.
So you got Belacqua to sponsor, huh?
Yes. Familiar foes. Familiar foes, amazing business. They've been part of this from day one. They've supported us by refreshing people with amazing beverages and the likes of Belacqua water, and the other Bell beverages, Bell Active, getting people to stay active throughout the activities that we have. And then obviously Bolt is offering people affordable rides to and from the event, which is incredible. Knowing some of the economic challenges people have, and Bolt is really coming on board to make it easy for people who don't drive to access the venue. It's easy to just find Rehab on the Google Map or any of on Bolt. If you don't have the Bolt app, you can easily download it as well and just put Rehab there wherever you are in Accra. It should take you there. And we also have some media partners who are supporting us project this to the Ghanaian audience. We have the likes of Music Box, TED TV, and of course, Guide Radio, one of the youngest contemporary radio channels in Accra, all supporting us and making AFROBURN a success. All these partners have been with us from day one. And so everything you're seeing today is thanks to them. And we really appreciate the support that they've been giving us from the onset. And hopefully we are able to give our audience the incredible experience come Monday, 26th December.
Nice. And I will just say, for those of you who, Belacqua is like a very large water company and not just water, just a beverages company in
beverages.
Ghana. They're everywhere. They're in all the major hotels. You would think in Ghana. Like, that was what I thought when I first moved there. And I've always told the folks at Belacqua, you know, our friends at Belacqua, I told them I am the #1 consumer in the particular area of Ghana in which I live. I buy a ton of bottled water. I buy the what is it, 24 pack, and I buy, is it no,
Yeah.
is it a 15 pack or a 16
They
pack
have
or
a
24
15
pack?
pack. They have a 15, and they have a 12, and then they have a 6-pack, which is the big one.
Okay, so I would do the 15 pack, and I get one at least twice a week. Because I, you know, and you
Wow.
guys know who those of you you've seen me drink those waters during the live all the time. So Bell Aqua, it's dope that they're actually sponsoring this event. And then for those of you who don't know, Bolt is an alternative ride sharing service to familiar with. It's a ride sharing service. So when you're in Ghana, Bolt is one. I think it's a European ride sharing service that is pretty widely used in Ghana. It's a more affordable alternative to the one that people are very familiar with that's out there. So I use Bolt a ton when I'm in Ghana. So yeah, so that's, I just wanted to make mention of those. So like if people are saying what they mean, that
Yeah,
is
and
who.
then I would also want to use the opportunity to mention my health corp. So my health corp is, like I mentioned already, it's a group of fitness experts that offer fitness activities or services to corporate institutions across Ghana. They have the biggest group of experts in the fitness space in Ghana today. They train, they manage, and then they service clients with these professionals. And we're happy to have them on board. Some of their instructors will be leading our aerobic sessions, our workout sessions as well. We would have them lead most of the games that will be happening during the event will actually be coordinated by my health corp. And so we're happy to also have my health corp also helping and supporting this edition of AfroBurn as well.
Nice, awesome. That's awesome. I really wish I could go and get a chance to see it in person, but as I said, I'll get to the next one, of course. I will be here in Sierra Leone at the very least till the day after you're doing this event, or maybe
Too bad.
potentially into the new
Too
year.
bad. We'll send you videos.
Yeah, videos for sure. All right. Uh, you mentioned kind of how you got started. You mentioned, you know, like everyone who's involved. Beyond AfroBurn, what events and experiences are you going to be putting on? I know that Afro Experiential, right? And it's an experiential agency, let's say.
Yeah.
What kind of other experiences are you looking to do beyond AfroBurn next Monday?
Good question. Good question. Like I already said, we've seen a growing demand for authentic urban African experiences everywhere. We have a very big population in the diaspora, but also on the continent of young Africans who are seeking relevant experiences where they can connect with brands, they can connect with people, friends, family, and the rest. And we've seen brands at the same time struggle to find a fit, especially global brands when they come into Africa, when even they want to serve consumers in the diaspora. There's always that gap in terms of how to take a global brand and have it be relevant to an African community wherever you are in the world. And so for Afro Experiential, our vision and mission is very simple: to help these brands be able to connect with these audiences with relevant experiences. However, what we are doing now, even with AfroBrand, is to create our own platforms to be able to bring these brands together to achieve this cause. And so another event that we're actually working on currently is what we call the Afro Urban Connect. And it's an event that we're working on for next summer, to be hosted in the UK. And the vision for this event is to bring young professionals in the diaspora, whether in the US or the UK or anywhere in the world for that matter, to connect and dialogue on different things and different ways of projecting an exciting new Africa, how we can individually and also as a strong united force project this new Africa that shows that when you go in the diaspora today, there's no single profession that doesn't have an African spearheading or playing a very huge role in it anywhere in the world. But there's largely no opportunity to bring these professionals together to share ideas, to connect and interact and brainstorm on ways to deliver, whether in the form of experiences or even advice and their services back home. So Afro Urban Connect will be a way to bring all these professionals together in the diaspora and anywhere in the world. It will be an online connect or summit hosted online, and it would have people from all over the world, especially in the diaspora, joining to be able to create this global community where everybody, every professional in the diaspora is able to now share their expertise with others and then pick some one or two ideas also from others to form this united force that we have. Today, we say the African diaspora is the 55th country in Africa, but we're not deliberately bringing the diaspora together. I think it's about that time when the African diaspora is actually united in the sense that we are able to contribute to the development of Africa this way. And Afro Urban Connect will be a way for us to bring this to life, hopefully next year in June, but that is work in progress at the moment, that Afro Experiential. Also, again, with the Afro Urban bringing to us next year as well. So that will be the next thing that hopefully we'll be able to announce in the next couple of months as well. Additionally, AFROBURN is global now. Like I mentioned already, we're getting a lot of interest from all over the world, the UK, US, South Africa, asking us, when can you bring this experience to where we are? And so we're working on taking AFROBURN global and bringing this experience. We don't want it to be only in December where people come to Ghana and experience it, because not everybody can be in Ghana in December. We all know that. So we're exploring opportunities of taking AFROBURN to this group of people across the world. And that will be another thing that we're working on, to allow people to experience AFROBURN even if they can't be in Ghana or Africa for that matter.
Awesome. Well, I'm looking forward to seeing everything you do coming out of AFROBURN and beyond. So, I want to talk to you a little bit about just being a business owner in as a Ghanaian, because a lot of friends or repats ask me about business that they should start, right? And what are some of the challenges with businesses? So I thought maybe we could start with that. Like, what were some of the challenges that you encountered launching this business? Even as a Ghanaian, someone born and raised in the country, what were some of the challenges that you saw launching this business as a whole?
I mean, clearly, there are so many things that are in the very early stages in Ghana, as far as development is concerned. So usually when you have a brilliant idea or business, most of the time you find yourself ahead of the systems, and so almost every time or every office you go to, it's not where you are yet. And so it's very difficult to get things done as fast as you want. However, that also opens up opportunities to help improve the systems, which is what I have observed. And so, for example, for us, when we initially started IZZUKIAAFRICA Group, the idea was to explore some of these things and make them global from day one. But obviously, the system don't allow you to be able to scale that fast, and so you are forced to localize, which is sometimes good for business because then you are able to test the market and then have a product market fit locally, and then you're able to scale it up once it's stable as well. So usually I think it's a system that really slows us down, but if you're able to be proactive enough and have that tenacity to keep going and forcing the systems and the people, you're able to change things and things happen as well. Yeah.
It's a really good point. Really good like insight into what some of the challenges are. What advice would you give to someone who's looking to start a business? There's so many diasporans. I mean, everybody, many of our subscribers, that's the first question that they ask. I want to start a business in Ghana. What should I do? And I like to ask people who already have businesses what their perspective is, because I think it's a little bit better than myself, who I don't currently necessarily have a business in Ghana. I have a business, but it's not specific to Ghana. So what advice would you give?
The first thing I think everybody should know is you need to know your stuff. I mean, that's what the first advice I give to anybody. For any business you want to venture into, make sure you do all the research. Make sure you know everything about it, or at least a lot about it, engage the right people, go deep in terms of information, get all the relevant information. And the second advice I would give is never wait to start. There's nothing like the best time to start. Whilst you're working at it, you need to start. You may have to learn on the go. You may have to make some small mistakes and correct them, but there's nothing like getting everything perfect before you start. So what I have seen and what I've observed is sometimes some of these things will slow you down, and so people tend to try to get a lot of things right before they really jump in. But sometimes when you're already in it, you are in the forefront, you learn faster, and if you're able to fix things quicker, you can get there before everybody else. We all know that Africa is still very young as far as many industries is concerned or are concerned. And so the first person to get there usually will get the biggest share, right? So my advice is always never wait, just start, know your stuff, keep learning, keep improving, and serve your customers. Whatever business you find yourself in, first identify your customer, know what they need, and add value to them, and do it every time. That way, even if some things are not perfect, your customers will give you the feedback, and you can use some of those feedback to improve your service, improve your product. And that's typically for us, even AfroBurn. When we did the first event, we had not done anything of that magnitude before, right? And we had been trying to start for a while. And eventually, when we started, it's just been 3 months since we started. And you can see the growth that we've seen. We're not there yet. We're still working, but we're progressing. We're seeing a lot of traction. People are telling us what works, what doesn't work. We're fixing things, we're improving. And so if you're an entrepreneur, whether Ghanaian or in the diaspora, and you want to come to Ghana, after knowing your stuff, get on the road, come to Ghana, experience the things yourself, go to some of the offices, ask all the relevant questions. Yes, they can be frustrating, I won't lie, but if you wait for people to tell you the stuff, then you will never know it firsthand. So it's better to always take the first step, experience the challenges yourself, and then try your best way to fix what you can fix and serve your customer better.
Very well put. I used to have a football coach, and I mean American football, in high school. They used to say, "Stop getting ready to get ready." Right? Like, I think that's so many people in business, right? They never actually take that step. So I thought that was really, really good, pertinent advice. And that's around the world, but specifically in Ghana. And I like that you mentioned it can be frustrating, because I think a lot of people try to look at everything through rose-colored glasses, and you need going to be easy every step of the way. But all very, very good advice. Okay, cool. There was somebody who made a comment a little earlier that I wanted to mention on Instagram. And I think it's Idufa said, "Brother, I'm a tech developer, entrepreneur, artist based in California. Would love to provide IT support for systems being created in the homeland." So yeah, I mean, I think Ibrahim just said it perfectly. Go to Ghana, wherever you find, because you said the homeland. So wherever you decide you want to go, if it's Ghana or wherever, you need to get there, be there in person, and get started, right? Do the research, know your stuff, as he said. I think that was all great advice. And so take the advice that Ibrahim just gave and utilize it for you. Jerry Campbell says, I don't know, it's not showing up on the screen because my computer is going really slow. Sorry. Spoken like a man who knows what he's talking about. So Jerry liked your response. Very, very good advice you just gave. Okay, cool. Was there anything I missed? I feel like I didn't ask everything. I don't know if there's anything I missed. Was there anything that I missed that you wanted to cover that I didn't ask you, Ibrahim?
I mean, so I think you've captured, as far as AfroBurn is concerned, you've captured a lot of it. What I wanted to add, or I'd like to add to what we're doing currently, is we're encouraging brands through our business. For example, we are dedicating our people, our resources in creating platforms that allows for brands to be able to engage directly with consumers or potential consumers. Brands need to get to a point where when they jump on events, there's so many Afro relevant events or platforms now for brands. One way that we've seen it work is, as far as, and you're an amazing marketer, one of the top advertisers I've ever met, and you know that brands really struggle to get, if it's content, if it's communication, even the product itself, struggle to find products that are directly relevant to consumers, specifically African consumers. And so we find ourselves mostly in either platforms or experiences that are not directly targeting us, but we are supposed to consume them anyway. What we are trying to change with Afro Experiential is, for brands, for businesses, if you're targeting Africa, if you're targeting Africans in the diaspora, we have our taste, we have our culture, we have our ways of doing things. Build communication, advertising, and events that are relevant to us. Afro Experiential is giving brands this opportunity, right? So we are able to help you, for example, create or carve these experiences and target businesses or consumers like that. Or we're creating platforms like AFROBURN, where people are organically coming to enjoy their music, stay fit, and do whatever they want as a people, giving you that platform to position your brand to connect with them. And so this trend is going to continue for a while. And so it's better for brands to jump on now, because otherwise you're going to have to spend a lot more in marketing, in research, in trying to understand the African consumer to be able to serve us better. So that's the thing that we are seeing at Afro Experiential, and the need for brand to start. You don't have to work with Afro Experiential, for example. Joe, you're doing amazing work understanding the different consumer needs in Africa. Brands needs to start working with people like you in Africa to understand the consumer, even at the point of creating the product. Before you create the product, talk to the relevant experts. And like the gentleman said, trying to create a product for Africa. There could be a tech platform in the US that is perfect, is working perfectly in the US, but might not fly in Africa, for example, because maybe it doesn't get the culture fit that it needs for people to use it. We've seen people come out with different social media platforms, different tech platforms and tech products, and bring it to Africa. And after a while, they just fade away. This is the problem, because we are unable to create relevant content and communication for people to be able to connect with our brands. And that's what Afro Experiential really stands for. And that's the agenda we're pushing for all brands to work with different agencies in Africa to achieve.
Very well put. Yeah, and I would say, even for you guys all as small business owners as well, everyone who's talking about building a business in Ghana or anywhere in West Africa or Africa in general, you want to make sure you're doing it in the right context, right? Not with you may bring your West, but it definitely needs to have the local context. And we spoke to some multinational brands, right? And some of the multinational brands I was talking to, I remember talking to some folks. There was a Clippers company, and I talking to some of the local Ghanaian artists. Ghanaians like beards, as you can see. Look at Ibrahim. And Ghanaians wear beards. So you need to be talking about trimmers or, beard grooming. Like, you need to talk about grooming, and that should be your focus, right? Don't just slap up an ad about a shaver, right? I think you need to really be intentional about the market that you're in. And I think that a lot of brands have that issue. And in America right now, there's a push to be targeting audiences. A lot of, being known for bringing Reebok to Jay-Z and 50 Cent in the early part of the 2000s, right? With the S. Carters and the G-Unit sneakers. And yeah, that worked in those instances, but those were just some instances, right? Brands are still having a hard time doing it. And I think a lot of that is because they're not having conversations with the folks, not actually ingraining themselves in the culture. And they're not speaking to those folks. They're just trying to do it from afar. And having worked at a company on the continent, I can tell you there are challenges even within the corporate structure sometimes with people trying to manage things from afar. So I think you hit the nail on the head. That, and I think more brands need to do it. And whether you're a small business, like those of you who are on this live who are talking about starting your own businesses or large multinationals, I think they need to take that same approach. In both instances, it's important for you all to be communicating with the folks on the ground to ensure that you are bringing the proper context and you're actually getting people engaged with your brand. Okay, cool. So I think we covered a lot, and it was, I think every answer you gave was beyond what I was expecting. And so with that, do you want to give everyone where they can find, actually, you know what? Let's take a step back. There's another question. So we won't go yet. Ida, is it Idua? Idufa. There it is. Idufa. Sorry. He asked, can you talk about those challenges for a little bit, like a specific example? So I think before you challenges starting a business in Ghana, it can be frustrating. I know you mentioned the systems aren't in place. Sometimes you're ahead of things. Sometimes it can slow you. But can you give a specific example maybe of some of those things so that people can be really clear? I have an example, but you give an example for sure.
So I'll use, for example, use AFROBURN, which is the event we're talking about, for example, as the key scenario where some of these things happen. For example, we all know how Afrobeats is already everywhere in the world. In Ghana, right, in December, everybody's coming to have fun and all that. You see how the likes of Zumba, soccer in the in South America have been built into global businesses and created a culture of music and fitness. This is not by accident. All these are deliberate efforts of projecting the culture of certain people. Today, everywhere in the world, in Ghana, there are 1,000 Zumba classes every weekend. In the UK, in the US, everywhere. These are not traditional things that are happening in those countries. These are people building something deliberately to sell a culture, to sell the way they do their things. If you look at soccer, it's just a dance. The theme of music has become something that everybody around the world has jumped on. So when we came up with an idea, for example, to use Afro beats as a way of projecting health and fitness, some of the challenges we had, even engaging with sponsors, public institutions, government institutions, were more like, oh no, I mean, it's just music, it's African music, it will pass. They couldn't see that. They couldn't see, even though we're showing them how the likes of Zumba has become a global thing, they couldn't see it. And most people will say, no, we don't think it will work. We can't support you. Our systems can't project you. We can't put money behind this. And then if you're not careful, you usually give up there. But we didn't stop. We had so many brands. We spoke to so many people. Listen, this would be big. Afrobeats is listened to everywhere in the world now. Everybody is dancing to Afrobeats. Nobody is turning it into this yet. If we are able to get in there in time, instead of having Zumba classes in Accra, why not have AFROBURN as a way to use Afrobeats as a professional fitness class for people? And if you talk to some of these fitness experts who go to, they fly abroad to learn Zumba, for example, join online classes and pay to get certificates for Zumba. Who created Zumba? But you're paying for it to learn and come teach us here in Ghana. But you don't think Afrobeat could be used for that yet, you know? And so people don't foresee this. And so for us, it was a struggle moving beyond the point of nobody's seeing this. Do we stop or keep going? You know? And so everything we've done for what AFROBURN has been us using our own resources to demonstrate that it works. You know, and that's really the point that I made earlier, that if you're able to demonstrate it works. Today we're having people send us proposals. We want to jump on it. We want to partner you. We want to be a part of it. But some of them in initial stages wouldn't even agree to talk about it because they didn't see it, you know. And when you go to some of the companies that probably would give you the legitimacy, like the fitness people, Registrar General, you want to register AFROBURN as a fitness class, for example. And this is one of the institutional problems that I mentioned. You know, you want to register AFROBURN as a fitness activity. The question you get is how is it a fitness activity? You know, because the system has been designed in a certain way. So if what you're saying doesn't fit that way, they can't qualify it as that. You know, nobody thought, oh, but people are registering Zumba classes everywhere. So we are importing things, but we are unable to build our own and project it to the world, you know. And if we had stuck with the systems and all these blockers, we wouldn't have AFROBURN today. I mentioned to you in our chat before today, in a little over 2 weeks since we announced the December event, we've had 1 million views on our TikTok, over 1 million. And these are global views. People being interested and asking, when are you bringing this? You know, so sometimes you just have to start it, show it works, and let people validate it for you to encourage you to keep going and forgetting some of the system challenges that we faced in the early stages as well. I hope this answers the question though.
Absolutely does. And I think not only did you answer the question, but you gave a solution, which I think is great. And that was so well put, but I'll just add another challenge that I've had. So, you know, those of you who have YouTube channels, you might know with YouTube, you have to validate who you actually are as a person, because about 4 years ago, they had some issues with ISIS doing videos on YouTube, recruiting on YouTube, and advertising against ISIS videos, right? And so YouTube then had to basically set a threshold for people to become comfortable. And so the threshold was 4,000 watch hours, and then you had to apply, and then they go through and look at your channel and then decide to approve you, right? Okay, now the second step for that is they send you a physical pin. So they send you a piece of paper, snail mail, the old school snail, you receive it, then you have to type that pin number in to your back office in AdSense, and then they approve you from. Okay. Now, my address, for some reason, does not show up at my local post office, okay? And so I had it delivered. I saw from Google that it was sent, but there's no tracking because they don't want people to game the system. I go to the post office. The guy at the post office is like, I've never seen anything like that. I show him a screenshot of an example of one. He's like, I've never seen that. I'm like, well, can you at least go back and check to see if you've gotten any mail for the last 12 months? The guy's like, no, I'm not going to go back there. So I was like, all right, well, maybe if I give you a little something, will you go back there? Okay. So then he went back there. Literally 10 seconds later, he comes back up. I didn't see anything. I'm like, you could not have combed through everything from the last month for the last 12 to see if that was there. But my point is this: there are structural challenges that have to find ways in the time. I think it's really piggybacking off of what Ibrahim just said, right? He just said it more eloquently, but that was exactly my issue. So what I found was another way to verify myself through Google without having to use the physical address. It is something that sometimes is an issue. There are some places in Ghana that are easily found by the post office, and there are other places that are a little bit more challenging to find. And so that is what my challenge was in that instance. Although it wasn't about a larger business, it was something that was I was trying to do in Ghana, and I did run into that challenge. Okay, so Ibrahim, can you this perfect timing. So Emmanuel Adufa is his name, not it's Adufa, not Adufa, whatever I tried to say. It's Emmanuel Adufa. He's asking that I could pin your handle on IG. Your handle is at AFROBURN, right? For this particular event, right?
For the event, yes. AFROBURN FC Fitness Club. AFROBURN FC.
AFROBURN FC. At AFROBURN FC. So it's there. You guys can click on it and go to the page. Also, it'll be in the description box below. Do you want to give any of the other sites and socials where we can find where they can find everything you're doing, so that if they have any questions or they want to participate in any way?
So the same handle, AFROBURN FC, across all platforms: TikTok, Twitter, Facebook, and obviously Instagram. You find everything with the link. We are just one click. Everything you need in that link. Our websites, how to register for our events is free. You can follow us on all these platforms for more updates on our events. If you want to know more about what we're trying to do with AFROBURN, there's a website link there. You can access it as well. Everything is just one click, to be honest. Just one click. Everything is there for you to access from all of our pages as well.
Awesome. And I just added it on Instagram. I just gave it to you guys there. And then I did it here on the live chat on Facebook and YouTube. All right, cool. Well, look, I think this was a really great session. I'm glad we got a chance to do this. And we're definitely going to have to catch up after this. We got some things to catch up on.
Yes, definitely.
You dropped a bombshell on me 2 minutes before we went live.
Crazy
so
stuff.
we got to talk. We have to talk. But yeah, so guys, if you guys find this content interesting or helpful, first of all, make sure you share this with at least 3 people that you know that are planning to come to Ghana or in Ghana right now. I know some people there right now who are looking for workout activities. So I'm going to send it to them so they can get involved. Anybody you know around the world that are dealing with brands that are looking to come to the continent of Africa, make sure you share this video with them. Anybody you know about moving to Ghana, share this video with them. Make sure you comment below on the questions or comments you might have. Make sure you hit that thumbs up so that everybody, and of course, subscribe to, I have to remind you guys of that again. 7% of you guys or you all, I should say, who watch this video are not subscribers. So make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, there's a drop down. Hit the notification bell for all so you're notified every time a new video comes out. So with that, Ibrahim, I want to thank you again for doing this. I'm glad we got a chance to have you on.
Thank you. Just wanted to add before we wrap up that
sure.
As we already mentioned, AFROBURN is growing. It's become bigger than us. It's become a global community, and thanks to you, I'm sure a lot of people will see this video and would want to be a part of AFROBURN. We are opening up for collaborations across the world. Like I rightly mentioned, we're getting a lot of interest in different countries across the world that are saying, when can you bring this to us? We're open to some of these collaborations. We're open to talk to brands who are trying to create experiences in Ghana. We're talking to others who have already seen what we're doing, but we're open to even more brands, whether small or big companies or multinationals who are trying to create relevant experiences for their audiences. Experiential marketing is still very young in Africa. And so a lot of brands have not really leveraged it yet. And so we are giving brands the opportunity to do it in a more cost-efficient way, either in Ghana or anywhere in the diaspora as well. Our headline sponsor, Pay&Joe, are offering people who either are watching this video or are coming to our event an opportunity to use their app to send money back home and enjoy free health insurance and earn money by doing this. So if you can follow Pay&Joe or Pay&Joe Money on Instagram, and you can see all their offers. If you have family back home, they're giving you free health insurance and life insurance to your dependents back home if you're sending money with their app. And they are also rewarding people for using their app. So they say send and win money. And for even businesses in the diaspora or Ghana who are trying to sell their business across the diaspora and use their platform to receive payment, Pay&Joe is giving you all these capabilities with just one app. And so it would be very good if we have a lot of our diasporan audience also to try this app, at least give them a feedback, tell them what works, what's not working. I'm sure they'll be happy to serve you with their services. Yeah.
There it is. Also, I love that too, because I'm a person who does a lot of remittance back to Sierra Leone. My mother does as well. And really, you just send money and they take their fees. So I like like the fact that Pay Angel actually offers health insurance to your dependents back home.
Yeah,
That's
and
really
the
dope.
good thing about Pay Angel actually is they actually charge no fees. So you send the money for free.
Really?
They don't. They have, yeah, there are no charges at all. They don't charge a penny. You send money back home for free. I think currently they allow people in the UK, Canada, Australia, and the US to send money back home for free, absolutely free, and you still are able to earn money by sending money back home. When you go to their Instagram, you see how people are winning £1,000, I think $1,000 for just sending money back home. So I mean, people can check out Pay Angel Money on Instagram for more. I can't see all of it on this video. Yeah, but I think there's more on their Instagram for you to see.
Pay Angel, got it. I'm definitely gonna check them out because I use the money all. I use different sites all the time. They're competitors all the time, they don't give any benefits, and all of them take their fees. So I like it. I'm definitely gonna check it out. All right, cool. Well, on that note, thanks for watching, guys, and we'll see you all on the next video.